Hey everybody, it's Kelly. I'm here to read you a great book, and a storm is rolling in here where I am. So I want to get this read to you before the storm comes. But it's the greatest book. I think you're going to love this book, especially if you were on the East Coast when the cicadas were here this summer. You're going to really enjoy this book about cicadas. Because if you saw them, you would know how interesting and great they were. So all you have to do is sit back and listen to the book called Cecily Cicada by Kida Helmtag Murdoch and Patsy Helmtag. It's a really good one. All right. In her dreary earthen hole neath a sassafras tree on Hodcopper Street in Washington, D.C., lived a hopeful nymph cicada waiting for the time she could crawl up top and feel the sunshine. Oh my gosh, she was so excited for this. The last thing she remembered before digging her hole was her solemn mama saying, "Cecily, be bold, be patient, dear, and persevere, and never do give up, for in 17 years you'll get back to the top. In 17 years you'll know what to do, and something amazing will happen to you." For 17 years, she waited day and night for time and temperature to be just right. Cecily ate roots, then she ate some more. But eating roots was such a bore, so she was stalwart, and she passed the time doing 17 things. They don't fit in this rhyme, but I'll read them to you. Number 1, listening. 2, knitting. 3, dancing. 4, drawing. 5, doing handstands. She was doing a lot. 6, juggling. 7, eating root spaghetti. 8, cooking. 9, making faces. 10, prospecting. 11, reading. That's a great one. 12, singing. I won't do that for you. 13, doing yoga. Namaste. 14, whistling. 15, throwing a pot. 16, throwing a fit. 17, sleeping. So for a while she waited for that far-off day. She had to be clever and learn to play and entertain herself till the soil felt right. At 64 degrees, she could crawl up to the light. 64 degrees. Once, when thinking of things to do, a friendly worm came passing through. He asked, "Why are you waiting down in this hole?" She said, "That is something I cannot control. In fact, I wish I could go up with you, but I must wait. My waiting's not through. In 17 years will come the day when I can go outside and play." Oh my gosh, 17 years. One morning in May, she woke up with a start. That was the moment she knew in her heart. Somehow she knew she must get to the top. She began digging and did not stop. Her head popped out in the dim moonlight, but her climbing continued that whole starry night. After so many years, she felt so free. She climbed up the bark of that sassafras tree. Here we go. When she got near the top, she suddenly froze. She felt stiff from her nose to her toes. She couldn't move. She was stuck in one spot. She tried to crawl, but she found she could not. She wiggled and wriggled with all her might, but no matter what, her feet held on tight. She thought, "I have to get out of here." Her body trembled with outright fear. She began to shake. She couldn't stop shaking. Can you shake? Can anybody shake out there? When all of a sudden she heard something breaking. She heard a rip and then a crack and felt the night air on her back. She tried moving her feet and found they would, then took a step and found she could. But why had she been stuck in one place? She looked up and saw the dried brown case. Her new self was pale, with wings that were green. Her skin was translucent, with a beautiful sheen. When the sun came up on the beings who sleep in, Cecily's color began to deepen. Suddenly, a question entered her mind. How can I leave that part of me behind? That withered brown case, it used to be me, but now it's dried up and stuck to that tree. She saw from her branch a most curious thing, a creature like she was with elegant wings. You look puzzled, but look around. There are hundreds of us crawling out of the ground. We're climbing up trees and leaving our past, spreading our wings to embrace life at last. We're leaving our old selves stuck on the trees, while we fly with the ladybugs, robins, and bees. Oh, it's a wonderful thing to fly. Jump off that branch. Give it a try. It was amazing. Her mom had been right, as Cecily found on her very first flight. You know how it is if you've had a long time to wait, when that thing finally happens? Isn't it great? If you've been in a dark hole, nothing is duller. Imagine emerging, surrounded by color. Below her were flowers and beautiful plants, birds and dragonflies, spiders and ants. Children were playing in Glover Park, and parents were dragging them home before dark. For 2 days, her red eyes took in all the sights, and the sounds and the smells of springtime delights. There were savory flowers that smelled so sweet, and tasty new leaves for her to eat. Then after 3 days came a glorious sound, from the bushes and treetops and all around. From male cicadas both high and low, a chorus of voices began to grow. For some humans it might sound like a buzz, but Cecily knew just what it was, a beautiful, joyful, thankful sound of creatures who'd lived in the ground for too long. Then she heard the sweetest voice, one that made her heart rejoice. Cecily looked up, and to her surprise was another cicada with stars in his eyes. All right, that was the best book ever. Okay, so this book ends, it says, when you see a cicada, which we saw so many, if you're around this area on the East Coast, you still might see some of their brown shells. But if you saw one, you're not going to see one again for a while. So if you're little, look up the grown-up who's reading to you, because when the cicadas come back, you'll be grown up too. All right, wasn't that the best book ever? Yay! Cecily Cicada. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that one. Click like if you liked it. And the storm is about to come over our house. It's raining and thundering now. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it.